Happy Sunday, welcome to this channel. I literally just woke up, so when this comes out, I'm sorry if I'm looking rough in the morning. Whew. If you're unfamiliar, definitely check out the playlist for all the music. I'm a rapper, but I also do sports, gaming, Pokemon cards. Check out the brand new YouTube channel, Moon610 Rips, which is dedicated to Pokemon things in general, but Pokemon content only. Possibly trading cards in the future. But I wanted to see, like, you know, test my brain. I've always watched stuff like Jeopardy and like games like Trivial Pursuit, or just, you know, I have random knowledge everywhere. So I'm gonna go through and let's do like a couple quizzes or something. Woo! Excuse me. I just look up this random website. We got all kinds of different stuff here, like movie mixture. I clicked this one first. I kind of been like a history buff back in the. It says average score is 8 out of 10. Let's just do a couple quizzes and see what we can get right. First question up, right into it. I'm sorry about the ads on the side. I'm not a real YouTuber. I just want to make some content for y'all. See what you get. Guess along with me though. What you think? Chingachgook was the last, and forgive my pronunciations, please. Was the last Airbender? No, Mohican. I mean, there's a native that seems to be native. Mohican, Indian in the cupboard, man standing. I gotta go with The Last Mohican because it's a famous book. Teruo Nakamura lived in the Indonesian jungles for over 30 years and was the last survivor of the Bataan Death March, Japanese soldier to surrender. World War II Coast Watcher, was the last of the Japanese comfort women from World War II. I have no idea. I genuinely have no idea. For some reason, I don't know if Teruo is a female name, a feminine name. For some reason, it sticks out to me that maybe the ending, Teruo. I'm just guessing. My inclination is to go Japanese soldier to surrender. I'm going Japanese soldier to surrender. I don't know. Something puts me towards of Japanese comfort women. I don't know why. All right. Despite the claims of others, verified records show that when Albert Wolson died at the age of 109 in 1956, he was the last keeper of the U.S. Lighthouse Service, veteran of the U.S. Civil War, veteran of the American Revolution, veteran of Roosevelt's charge up San Juan Hill. Bro, I don't freaking know. What? Oh my god. I'm gonna say Civil War. Although the exact date is disputed, the last blank was seen in the late 1600s. Great. What? Emus are still around. Great. Auk. Ayuk. Rhea. Dodo. I mean, it's a bird. Give me a clue. That's not a. It kind of looks like the emu with the legs and the body, but the. I don't know. I'm going with Ayuk. My inclination says Dodo as well, but I'm going Dodo. I don't care. No. Go with what you do. Go. Gut feeling. In 1990, okay, Wisconsin is our clue right here. In 1990, the U.S. removed from active service this type of ship, keeping 2 in reserve status. However, in 2006, the last 2 blank were entirely deactivated. Light ships, whalers, dairy cattle boats, or battleships. Well, obviously they still have battleships. I want to say light ships. But it also says Wisconsin, so dairy cattle boats has got to be it. Wisconsin. I'm going Wisconsin. That's our clue, right? Jeez. Dairy. In June 2014, 93-year-old World War II veteran Chester Nez died at his home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. The U.S. Marines mourned the passing of the last survivor of Pearl Harbor, POW held by the Japanese. the last of the two. Ooh. Oh, Iwo Jima flag raisers or Navajo code talkers. 2014. I mean, right here, I'm gonna say. Oh, it's got to be either POW held by the Japanese or of the Iwo Jima flag raisers. Just based on this. This photo right here is just showing. Oh, I don't know. I'm gonna say Navajo code talker because that's what they used to do, right? How it was hello. I don't know. We're using this as clues. I don't know if it's actually meant to be a clue, but we're using it as the clue. It's gonna throw me off if I'm wrong. I'm look like such an idiot. All right, here we go. The author of a popular and long-running comic penned the last strip months in advance. Quite coincidentally, he died February 12th, 2000, the night before the last appearance of Peanuts, Beetle Bailey, The Far Side, Calvin and Hobbes. I'm pretty sure that Peanuts is still in... Beetle Bailey was still in comics well after 2000. So, it can't be Beetle Bailey, because I used to read the comics. Peanuts, Calvin and Hobbes, I feel like, was still coming out after that, too. The Far Side I don't remember, and Peanuts I don't know if it's still in comics or not. My inclination is to lean towards Peanuts just because it's something more popular, and I don't know what The Far Side is. So I'm going to guess Peanuts, and I'm going to be very upset if it's Beetle Bailey, because I used to literally read that genre every Sunday morning in the comics. Sarge chased him around and give me... Oh, man. Excuse me. Alright, number 8. Here we go. That looks like Alcatraz. Ooh. An infamous prison closed in March 1963 after almost a century as a military and then federal penitentiary. Prisoner Frank Wathernham took the last prison boat from... I think it's Alcatraz. I'm almost certain it's Alcatraz. On The Tonight Show on New Year's Eve 1970, the last U.S. TV commercial for blank appeared. On The Tonight Show in 1970, hard liquor, cigarettes, marijuana, lawn darts. It's not lawn darts. It's definitely not marijuana. I'm going to say cigarettes because hard liquor's not like that. Yeah, and they still have liquor commercials. Okay, last question. Here we go. According to the Bible, Book of Revelation, the last horseman of the apocalypse on a pale horse is... I would assume death. So here's the first. That looks like war. Yeah, he's death. He got the skull. Let's see how we did. Okay, we got Mohican right. Does it tell me my actual score up top? No, it doesn't tell me why. Let's learn something. Chingachgook's name means big snake in the Delaware language. He was the father of Uncas, who should have been the last of the Mohicans until the village Magua intervened. Interesting. Oh, here we go. We did get... Okay, was soldier to surrender. Yeah, okay. 92% answer, 94. Nakamura was a native of Taiwan who was conscripted to serve in the Imperial Japanese Army in World War II. He was located in December 1974, just a few months after most famous... I'm so sorry about this. Where's my girlfriend? Most famous Hiro Onada, survivor in the Philippines. Nakamura's case was very problematic since he was not a Japanese citizen and the ownership of his native Taiwan had changed since he last left. He eventually was repatriated back to Taiwan, bypassing Japan, where he died in 1979. Interesting. Okay, we got this one right too. 3 for 3 now. Hold on, let's learn something. Excuse me. This guy was a veteran of the Civil War. Albert Wilson was born approximately in 1850, enlisted in October of 1864. As a drummer boy in the Minnesota Heavy Artillery Regiment, he never saw combat before the war ended 6 months later. He was the last member of the Veterans Organization Grand Army of the Republic, GAR, which disbanded after Wilson's death in 1956. Definitely a much harder question. I mean, I didn't know this one. I took a guess at but the context clues were, right there. And that just screams Civil War with this stamp right there. Number 4. Oh, it was Dodo. Oh, boo. All right, we got one wrong. Although the flightless dodo was endemic to the Indian Oceans inside of Mauritius, it had no predators, probably why it was flightless, and was so unafraid of man. Sailors visiting the island and the predatory animals they introduced were the main cause of the extinction. Yeah, that makes sense. It was battleships. I hate it here. Oh, I got two wrong. I'm getting cocky. Look. Oh, only 52% got this right anyway. I don't feel so bad about that then. Okay, the USS Iowa, BB-61, and US Wisconsin, BB-64, were the last two battleships in the world to see active duty and the last two to be carried in reserve status. All of the remaining battleships are now museum ships owned by local governments or private organizations. They are no longer in the condition to be returned to active duty. Interesting. Hey, see, okay. I like that with the 64% because this gave it away. They're all doing this in the photo. In 1942, 29 Navajo. The question was, in June 2014, 93-year-old World War II veteran Chester Nez died at his home in Albuquerque, New Mexico. U.S. Marines mourned the passing of the last Navajo code talker. So in 1942, 29 Navajo were recruited to use their native language as the basis of a code that the Japanese could not break. More than 300 eventually served, and their actions were closely held secret until 1968. The original 29 received the Congressional Gold Medal in 2001. Interesting. Alright, this one was Peanuts. Look at that deductive deductory skill. Wow, let's go. Charles M. Schultz died of complications from colon cancer. Sorry, just celebrating. He's not with us. R.I.P. In December 1999, after he had written the final strip, he said in an interview, "All of a sudden I thought, that poor kid, he never even got to kick the football. What a dirty trick. He never had a chance to kick the football." Interesting. It was Alcatraz. That just looked like it's so famous. And I recently watched a movie about the only guy who escaped from Alcatraz. I think they named him after the prisoner, Frank Wathernham. Alcatraz Island is 1.25 miles off the shore of San Francisco, surrounded by swift moving and cold water. The prison was considered escape-proof and the most secure prison in America during the period 1934 to 1963. Alcatraz housed prisoners that caused trouble at other prisons, including such infamous characters as Whitey Bulger, Mickey Cohen, and Al Capone. Interesting. Very interesting. Alright, I got that one right. The U.S. Congress passed the Public Health Cigarette Smoking Act, banning TV commercials for cigarettes on January 2nd, 1971. The last ad for Virginia Slims appeared just before midnight that evening before. Wow. And then, according to the Bible, Book of Revelation, last horseman of the apocalypse is Death. Death, the Pale Rider, is the only one of the four horsemen to be specifically named. The others are only described. Death is also the only one not carrying something. The rider of the white horse, Conquest, carries a bow. The red horse, War, carries a sword. And the black horse, Famine, carries a set of scales. So we did exactly what everybody had showed. Most people got 8 out of 10 on the quiz like this. And I'm very proud of myself for actually using my deductive reasoning skills. Because I look at some of these questions like... Good morning. Have a great Sunday. Appreciate you guys for taking part in this channel. Definitely more quizzes and more trivia. Maybe not so intuitive if you guys aren't into like learning all the background because I had no idea what I was getting myself into. But I also like this because it teaches us something at the same time. So drop a like, drop a comment. Did you get them right with me? What's one you didn't know? What's one that really intrigues you? What kind of quizzes would you like me to take in the future? And do you like to read and teach yourself things now that, you're either in high school and really struggling to grasp certain things? Or do you just hate learning it all because they make school boring? You need a good teacher to teach. Students want to learn. I love to learn. But I just got to the point where I got to teach myself. But more quizzes later on. Drop that like or whatever and have a great weekend. Peace.